He wasn't speeding, he wasn't swerving. He was just black, in a nice car, on a dark road, and that was enough. The red and blue lights lit up behind him. He pulled over, slow and careful, just like they taught him when he was 10. But the voice that came next wasn't calm. It was loud, angry, hungry. "Get out of the car, now!" He stayed still, hands on the wheel, eyes forward, mind steady. Because he'd seen how this ended for men who looked like him. He rolled down the window, turned on the dome light, spoke calm, clear, respectful. "Good evening, officer. May I ask what I've done wrong?" But the officer wasn't looking for dialogue. He was looking for dominance. "This your car?" "Yes, sir. Registered in my name." "Step out, now!" The officer's hand was already on his holster. He wasn't asking. He was daring. Daring a man to flinch, to breathe wrong, to be wrong. He stepped out, slowly, deliberately, hands high. "I'm an attorney," he said. "I know my rights." The officer laughed. "You people always think you know everything." And then he shoved him hard, cuffed him without reason, pushed him onto the hood of the car like trash left out for collection. But what Officer Jones didn't know was that the man he just laid hands on was Darius Cole, federal civil rights attorney, partner at one of the most feared legal firms in the state, a man responsible for over $20 million in judgments against police departments just like this one. Jones thought he'd caught a suspect. He'd actually just created a case. And the man standing in front of him had been waiting for a moment like this. The radio crackled. Dispatch confirmed the name, the license, the career. Darius Cole, attorney at law. Silence. Suddenly the officer wasn't so loud. Suddenly his hand left his weapon. Suddenly he remembered his policy. But Darius didn't move, didn't run, didn't shout. He watched. He waited. He documented. A second cruiser pulled up. The sergeant stepped out. Apologies, excuses, backpedaling. But Darius wasn't listening, because this wasn't just about him. It was about every black man who got pulled over just for driving home. Every woman made to step out of her car while her babies cried in the back seat. Every dashboard camera mysteriously turned off. And this one? Oh, it was off too. The officer had shut it down. His badge camera dead. His excuse barely alive. And Darius? He wasn't mad. He was ready. "No, I'm not pressing charges," he said, "but I will be filing a class action. Starting with every traffic stop this man has made in the last 3 years." Jones went pale, because the name Darius Cole wasn't just respected, it was feared. A man who didn't protest with signs, he protested with subpoenas, and won every time. "You messed with the wrong one tonight," Darius said. "Your department's about to learn who I am." He stepped back into his car, cuffs removed, suit wrinkled, but pride intact. He didn't drive away angry. He drove away focused. He made one call. "Travis, pull Officer Jones's records, all of them, every stop, every complaint, every ignored report. He paused. "Oh, and tell Maya we've got our next case." Because tonight, a cop thought he was pulling over a problem, but he actually pulled over his reckoning, the courtroom reckoning. 3 weeks later, the courtroom was packed, not with reporters, but with victims, single mothers, young men with shattered wrists, an old pastor who still limped from a routine stop. All of them dragged from their cars by Officer Jones. All of them ignored. Until now. Darius Cole sat at the front. No tie, just purpose and evidence. 17 affidavits, 8 sworn testimonies, 4 doctors' reports, 2 internal memos the department hoped no one would ever find. But Darius found them. Because Darius doesn't lose. He builds cases like coffins, one nail at a time. The judge entered. White, male, late 60s. But as his eyes met Darius's, even he knew. This wasn't just a lawsuit, it was a reckoning. Officer Jones walked in with his union rep. Shoulders sagged, smile fake. And behind that smile, fear. Because his career wasn't just on the line, his freedom might be too. Darius stood. No introduction needed. The court knew who he was. The state knew who he was. He spoke slow, measured, every word a hammer. Your Honor, this case isn't just about one night. It's about a pattern, a practice, a system that gave Officer Jones permission to become a predator. He played the footage, dash cams, cell phone clips, tearful testimonies, Jones shoving a teenager onto the pavement, Jones mocking a woman for crying, Jones laughing as he turned off his body cam. The courtroom didn't breathe. Even the judge leaned forward. Then Darius dropped the final blow. A confidential email from the department's deputy chief, admitting they'd covered up 3 of Jones's complaints to protect department optics. The courtroom exploded. Gasps, murmurs. The judge called for order, but the truth had already kicked the doors open. Officer Jones's lawyer asked for a recess. Darius smiled. "Take all the time you need," he said. "You'll still lose." Because this wasn't a trial, it was a funeral, and Jones was already buried under the weight of his own actions. But just as court was about to adjourn, a knock on the door. A marshal whispered something to the judge. The judge blinked, read the paper. His face tightened, then he looked at Darius. "Mr. Cole, it appears your case just took on a new dimension." He held up the file. "A federal investigation has just been opened, not just into Officer Jones, but into the entire department." Darius didn't flinch. He just nodded. Because this was the real goal. Justice not just for him, but for everyone they tried to silence. The judge continued, "You will now be working alongside federal prosecutors, effective immediately." But before Darius could speak, the back doors slammed open. A tall woman in a dark suit stepped forward, confident, cold, holding a sealed envelope. The judge raised an eyebrow. "And who are you?" She looked directly at Darius. then smiled. "My name is Special Agent Rivera, and I believe Mr. Cole has no idea what he's actually stepped into." She handed him the envelope. Because Officer Jones wasn't just acting alone. He was working with someone else. Darius opened it. His jaw tightened, eyes narrowed. Then he looked up. This changes everything. What if Officer Jones wasn't the worst one, but just the cover for someone even more powerful?